So the happy days are back in the India men's hockey team as they have completed a clinical 4-1 win over South Korea, and because of that Harmanpreet Singh's side have won the men's hockey Asia Cup for the fourth time. Remember, they were playing South Korea, who have won this tournament 5 times. But now India have managed to pull off a clinical 4-1 win over South Korea, which has achieved two things. One, they have won this tournament unbeaten. They were not beaten in any of the games. The closest they came to losing was a 2-2 draw against South Korea. But they have also qualified directly for the Men's Hockey World Cup, which will be held in August in Netherlands and Belgium in 2026. The game was set up brilliantly in the very first minute. Sukhjit, within the span of 30 seconds or so, scored the opening goal. And then from that point on, India just did not let up. They ensured that they kept the attack going and going. And then you had Dilpreet. Dilpreet's brace ensured, and the most heartening thing about this entire display from the India men's hockey team is that all the goals, most of them, they came from field goals, not so much from the penalty bits that were there. There was one disheartener though in the first quarter itself. They got a penalty stroke, but that was well anticipated by the South Korean goalkeeper, and that's why it was still 1-0 heading into the last, if you look at it, the second quarter. But then Dilpreet's brace ensured that the contest was well beyond South Korea, and the Indian defense was simply on top today. They complemented and fully ensured that Fulton's mantra of solid defense, ensuring that solid attack would take place, and that is why the India men's hockey team really put on a clinical show at this stage in time. So two goals from Dilpreet Singh, and then the final stages in the fourth quarter, Amit Rohidas scoring that goal and ensured that it was 4-0. Although South Korea got a goal back, it was far too late. The Indian defense just held up on its own. South Korea did try to put pressure in the fourth quarter, but they just had no openings whatsoever. And because of that, India have emerged victorious in the Hockey Asia Cup. Now, if you look at the campaign, it was very scratchy to begin with. They had narrow victories over China. They then also managed to beat Japan, but then they had a 15-goal fest. And then in the Super Fours also, they managed to ensure that, okay, they started off with a 2-2 draw against South Korea, but then they defeated Malaysia, and then they put so many goals past China that gave them the confidence to enter the final. South Korea, on the other hand, they had a very tricky part to the finals. They just couldn't make sure that, yes, we had to go through the last day and ensure that you won. So South Korea have managed to kind of put up a fight against India, but they were no match. And once again, when you look at it, India are the dominant side in Asia. Yes, over the last couple of months, when you see the India men's hockey team, it has not been a good time for them. They lost 7 out of the 8 games in the FIH Pro League when you have to look at the European League. But at least they ended their campaign with a win over Belgium. So that was one good thing that the India men's hockey team have managed. And because of this now, India are now the dominant powers in Asia. But the real test for them is the Olympics and the World Cup. Now, the World Cup, when you look at it, 1975 was the last time we had won a World Cup. 52 years on, 50 plus years on, we have still not even come close to winning. You've gone to the quarterfinals in 2018. You got dumped out in 2023 by a determined New Zealand side. And because of that, in 18, you lost to the Netherlands. Your challenge now is with 3 teams. The 3 teams that India will be up against: Belgium, Netherlands, and Australia, the Kookaburras. They have always hurt you in the World Cup and in the Olympics. Germany also at this point, they have also always hurt you at this point in time. So Germany denied India a bigger medal in 2024. This time also, when they came for the 2-test series, they managed to beat you. And because of that, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and Australia, these are the 4 teams who will really be testing your mettle at this point. So you've kind of ended your hockey campaign on a high in 2025 with this Hockey Asia Cup triumph. After that, when you look at it in 2026, you not just have the World Cup, you also have the Asian Games. And that's why these two are very, very important. Asian Games, for Olympic qualification, you need to win it. But looking at India's strength in Asia, you should go and win it. But your major challenge is the World Cup. You need to win the World Cup to ensure that Indian hockey is on track. So far, when you look at it, in this final alone, Dilpreet Singh has managed to ensure that yes, he is one to look forward to. Amit Rohidas, as always, fantastic and sublime. Then looking at the goal-keeping abilities, yes, early days yet, but there is a bit of a worry on that aspect. So these are the things that India will have to iron out at this stage. But there's jubilant scenes at Rajgir. I mean, you cannot deny that India going through unbeaten, and that too beating five-time champion South Korea, is something noteworthy indeed. So yes, India in their entire campaign just had a draw against South Korea, but apart from that, they have won everything and they put on a dominant display in this men's hockey Asia Cup that's there in Rajgir. And yes, we struggled, sportsman is saying, we struggled in the group stages but peaked yesterday against China and won today as well. Well, China, to their credit, they did put up an improved show. But remember, in 2024, they were the finalists. This time, they didn't even make it to the final. So it is one notch below them at this stage. And sports of the World Cup, it's too much to ask. Semis is a realistic target. Looking at previous World Cup performances. See, sportsman, I know you're scarred with all that has happened in the world of hockey when you have to look at, especially the World Cup. Let's make no bones about it. When you lost in 2023 in the most heartbreaking of circumstances to New Zealand, that scarred you in a big way. And looking at the World Cup this time, it's going to be held in Belgium and Netherlands. It is really going to be important that you shore up on your defense. There are still some loopholes in the defense that has come up. In the final, you got that template, what Craig Fulton was asking for. And that's why it's going to be very important. Broader question that Rahul Dravid Vinod is asking. What structural changes are needed to make hockey's domestic system as impactful as cricket's Ranji model? Bad example, my friend. Very bad example that you quoted in the Ranji model. Which domestic cricketer has been rewarded consistently in the Indian national team? Hardly any. What you need at this point in time is that the Hockey India League, perhaps that can be some help to you. You will at least get some exposure to the Australian, to the Dutch, to the Belgian players that come. But apart from that, it looks very hard because, see, Belgium and Netherlands have a very robust domestic system. Same with the Kookaburras. They have a very robust domestic system. India doesn't have a robust domestic hockey system. The Hockey India League, but apart from that, where all do you play? Is there something that goes on year? That is the main thing that Hockey India will have to brace up to. So yes, heading into the World Cup, that is the major campaign in 2026 for Indian hockey. FIH Pro League, it is really unfortunate at this point. There is a check for Melody Avenue saying, cried to see that there is a check for $200 to the man of the match. Have you become so poor? Well, what did you expect? 2 million. Hockey. It's hockey after all, my friend. It's way off the consciousness of what you're looking at this point in time. And whatever be the developments you made, it's USD 200 is a joke. Hockey needs money. For that, you have to perform, my friend, and you have to start winning World Cups and Olympic gold. That's the only way you'll get in the money. Otherwise, you won't get in the money. A bronze medal can give you something to crow about. But I'm sorry, you're still way behind. Indian hockey is at least some steps behind the Dutch and the Belgians, who play very fast attacking hockey. And of course, our perennial nightmares, the Kookaburras, they always have gotten the better of us. The only team who've gotten more than 100 plus wins against us in our head-to-head history. So yes, how come South Korea has won more Asia Cups than India, sportsman? I'll explain, sportsman, because see, when it started in the 80s, the Asia Cup hockey, Pakistan won it 3 straight times. Then you had South Korea winning it 2 straight times. Then you had India interrupt in between. Then South Korea won it two times. Then India won it. Then South Korea won it. So initially in the 90s and the 2000s, it was South Korea who dominated Asian hockey. After that, they have had a slump. Then India is dominating at this stage. So yes, first time since 2017, after 8 years, you managed to win the Hockey Asia Cup, and that's why proud moment. So 8 years later, you won the Hockey Asia Cup. You secured direct qualification to the World Cup, and that is why it's a great day indeed for Indian hockey. Actually, today we have 11 Dhanraj Pillais in the team. Made us proud. Well, if Dhanraj Pillai is seeing this, definitely. Growing up in the 90s, he was our hero, our legend indeed to follow hockey. So yes, great day for the India men's hockey team. They have managed to win 4-1 against the South Koreans, and they have managed to win it for the fourth time. And you're now going to see us in the 2026 World Cup that will be held in Netherlands and Belgium. So, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Don't forget to tap that bell icon so that you know when we go live. Bye bye.